Hi, it's Alexis Hasselberger, time management and productivity coach. We are going to be doing a series all about habits. Now, in the last video, we talked about the habit loops, or understanding habits and where they map in terms of your trigger, the actual behavior, the routine, and then the reward that your brain gets from it. And now we're going to start a series of videos where I'm going to share with you some of the best science-backed techniques for building habits and breaking habits. And I want to share these science-backed techniques with you because I know one thing for sure, and I bet you do too, and that it is that willpower and motivation, they do not build habits, right? Or maybe they do in the short run, but they don't in the long run, because willpower and motivation are fleeting resources. We do not always have access to them. And when they're depleted, we tend to feel bad about it and like it's our fault or something. And it's not. Just habits are hard. Habit change is hard. Change is hard. It's just part of the human condition. And so I want to give you a bunch of different strategies that you can use to help you build habits with less effort, build habits a little bit more easy for yourself so that it doesn't have to be such a struggle the whole way. And I'm going to get started by sharing with you one of my absolute favorite habit strategies. Now, of all the habit strategies that I'm going to share with you, like not every single one is going to work for you, right? We're all different. We all have different brains, different circumstances, et cetera. So some may work really well, some may not. But the habit strategy that I'm going to share with you today tends to work well for almost everybody. In fact, I have never met someone for whom this did not help in some way. And what is this magic secret strategy? Well, it's not really a secret because I'm going to tell you. It is the strategy of convenience and inconvenience. So what does this mean? It means when you are trying to build a habit, you want to make it as convenient for yourself as possible. You want to remove friction, right? Don't add barriers, remove barriers for you to doing the thing. And when you're trying to break a habit, you want to add friction, right? You want to make it inconvenient for yourself. You want to make it harder for yourself to do that thing. Right? So these are not things that revolve around willpower or motivation. These are things that we're building into our environment to help it make it easier for us to build habits. So let's talk about convenience, right? What does this mean? How could you use it? So I'm going to give you an example from my life. I try to go running every day. Doesn't happen every single day, but I try, right? On the weekend, when I get up in the morning, I put on my running clothes. I put on a sports bra, put on my running clothes so that at any point during the day, I can just leave my house and go out on a run. Like it doesn't require much of me. I just have to put on my shoes and I can leave the house. This makes it really convenient for me to go out for a run because I don't have to do anything to make it happen. I've already done it by getting dressed that day, right? Now, that may not be reasonable for you in all times, but let's say you want to exercise every day or some days, right? Put out your exercise clothes the night before. Make it easy. Make it the path of least resistance to do the thing that you want to do. Right? If you want to eat healthier, make sure you have healthy snacks around you, right? Buy those little mini carrots. They're easy to grab from the refrigerator. Have apples around, have protein, have the things that are good for you, easy, accessible, and you're more likely to eat them instead of something else, right? Now, what does this mean on the flip side? On the flip side, it's like, if you don't want to do something, make sure that thing is really inconvenient for you, right? There are some really interesting studies that show that when we have junk food, in a cabinet with a door that's shut versus 1 foot below that on the countertop, right? People eat much more of that junk food when it's sitting out on the counter than they do if they just had to go like that. Right. There was another study that showed that it was like candy on people's desks, right? And it showed that people eat 3 times as much candy when it's like sitting on their desk and they can grab it as they do if they have to literally stand and walk 2 feet over, right? 3 times as much candy if they just can't reach it, right? If they have to, do that hard barrier of standing up and walking somewhere, then they're going to eat much less candy, right? So does this mean that you can never keep the things that you like as treats in your house? No, right? It just means if you don't have them in your house, it's going to be easier not to eat them, right? It's easier not to eat the ice cream if you have to drive to the store and buy the ice cream in order to eat it. Now, you may have other people in your house and they might not be having the same habits that you have. So, something in our house is we do keep sweets and chocolate and things like that in the house, but it's on a top shelf in the cabinet. This means that in order for me to access it, I have to physically climb on top of the countertop and open the cabinet and pull it out of the top drawer, right? This means that I am much less likely to do that because that is a lot of effort, right? That's more effort than just even opening a cabinet and seeing what's there. I have to literally climb on top. So that works for me, right? Because it means that I can still access the chocolate if I want the chocolate. It's just that I have to think a little bit more about it. Do I really, really want the chocolate, right? Maybe you like love some fast food place and you drive by it every single day. Drive a different route, right? Don't make it easy for yourself to access that thing. So this is the strategy I'm sharing today. Convenience for the things you do want to do and inconvenience for the things you don't want to do. How can you make the things you do want to do a lot easier? How can you make the things that you don't want to do a lot harder? So let me know in the comments, has this worked for you? Have you tried this before? If you haven't tried it before, tell me how you're going to try it out. Like, what's something that you want to build or break, and how might you apply the strategy of convenience and inconvenience? Now, I am going to be doing this series on habits. And so if you want to make sure that you do not miss any of these strategies, make sure that you subscribe, and then you will get access to these videos in your feed every single Monday.
Hey, do more stress lessers. It's the video editor here to tell you that only about 20% of the people that watch our videos are subscribed. So if you're watching videos, just like she said, if it's very convenient for you to just click that big red button and make it gray. And so it'd be a big help to the channel.